friends! Welcome to today's Naked Truth. I know that this timing was impromptu, and normally I schedule the event ahead of time, so I appreciate everybody being here. Curtis Jeremiah says, I didn't know there was a Naked Truth today. Yes, it's a surprise Naked Truth today, so welcome everyone. I was supposed to do one last week, and then it didn't happen because of everything that was going on in the United States at that time and some other stuff that happened with my tech setup that I wanted to figure out. But that's all been figured out now, and so I just switched it to today. So welcome everyone. There was a little bit of chat in Discord about what today's Naked Truth should be about, whether it should be about more serious topics going on right now or lighter topics going on right now. And I kind of picked a cheese board of topics. So we're going to discuss a couple different things today. One of the things that got everybody in the Naked Truth Discord channel really talking was favorite video games from each generation, because now that we are on the age of the new console, which you may have seen my Xbox Series X review that I put on this channel, and I'm in the process of putting together one for the PS5 as well, and then maybe some comparison videos. But anyway, ask all your questions about the PS5 so that I can incorporate your questions into that review like I did with the Series X questions and the Series X review. Please do that. I would love to answer your questions. But yeah, now that we are here, the next generation of consoles are here, it has people reminiscing about some of the best games of the previous generations and really just singing the praises of the exclusives that came out kind of in the PS4, in the last gen PlayStation life cycle, like God of War and The Last of Us 2 and The Last of Us proper was PS4, I believe. It's hard for me to remember because a lot of them, Rex Sampega says, so a charcuterie of topics then. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing today. Nick, hi, says, what a coincidence. I just got some nice new wine to enjoy with this cheese board of topics. Perfect! Yay! So yeah, if you guys have favorites from previous console generations, please go ahead and shout them out. Also, I want to say, if Critter Nation is here, I believe Critter Nation has been hitting me up in Discord for a little while to go visit my P.O. box, and I will say I stopped at my P.O. box this morning and shipped out a bunch of Twitch rewards and saw this had arrived there. So Critter Nation, if this is from you, thank you so much. I know I don't often have time to read in quarantine, but I will make time to read this. So for those of you who don't know, George R. R. Martin's Fire and Blood is a prequel to A Song of Ice and Fire. So I have not read this yet and would love to tear into it. So that was very, very kind and thoughtful of you. Michael King says, favorite on NES, Super Mario 3. Super Mario 3 is amazing. I own several copies of it back in my NES days, for sure. Steven Shepard Official says, still love Donkey Kong Country 2 so much. A classic. A total classic. Cyclops says, which PS5 game did I play first? I played Astro's Playroom first because I wanted to, it's essentially the tech demo for the controller, and I really wanted to check that out for the purposes of reviewing the PS5. So I played that first. I did not 100% it, which I don't know if I need to get the full spectrum of what the controller can do. But then I jumped into the original Spider-Man, well, except for Spider-Man Remastered because it's on PS5. So that's what I jumped into next because I never actually completed it, which Spider-Man is one of the games I'm sure people would say is one of the best games of the PlayStation 4's generation as well. Mega Drive Sonic 2 says that, James Wisdom. Agreed. Super Mario Kart says favorite on Super NES. Mighty X29, thank you so much for the super chat, says, hope everyone has a great day. Today is Diwali, the Festival of Lights. What do you say? Happy Diwali? How do you, to everyone who's celebrating, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you, Mighty X29, for bringing that up. Catnip Ninja says, Ranger X on Sega Genesis. Humor Jubai says, for NES, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario 3, Ninja Gaiden 2. I always forget if it's Gaiden or Gaiden, and I always say it wrong, but I've made an effort to say it right, so I'm going to say that my initial Ninja Gaiden was probably correct. Do you have the new Spider-Man, says Eric Tate? Yes, I do. And I just started playing it on Twitch yesterday, and I'll be playing more of it tomorrow. I'm going to be playing through Spider-Man Remastered first before jumping into Miles Morales, or should I say swinging into Miles Morales? But because I never got a chance to fully complete the original Spider-Man game for PS4 because I only had access to it in studio at Geek and Sundry and then again in studio at Newegg, so I never actually finished it. And I've been told I have to finish it before I start Miles Morales, so that's what I'm going to do. That James Wisdom says, I really enjoyed Detroit Become Human on PS4. Yes, fantastic. Thomas Toft says, I played a lot of Red Alert on the PS1, often against my brother via a connecting cable. Our turtling strategies, though, meant that at times the game lagged a lot. I get that. Yes, Desi Geek says, Happy Diwali to all. Steven says, can't stay, but hi, Trisha. Hi, too, as well. Thank you for popping in. Took it home to Jenny. Says, PC. I've never owned a console or handheld device. I feel like an old lady. You are not an old lady. And as I've talked about on this channel before, Jenny, that was me for a long time. I had the original NES, and then that was my last console. I never had anything from the Sega Genesis / Super NES era all the way up to my next console was PS2. So in all of that time, I was exclusively a PC gamer. So I feel you. I totally feel you. And that's just because my parents didn't prioritize the investment of a new console every year, which I totally understand. I was the only gamer in the household. And so I converted to PC gaming because we had a PC for school and homework during that time. Let's see. Daniel Casabon says Grand Theft Auto 3. Played the heck out of that. Michael King says Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Very nice. Restless Youth Productions. Nice to see you today as well. Thank you for being here. Rip93 Ford says, I'm just going to roll with my Switch. I get it. And Switch, I think a lot of people would probably say Breath of the Wild. Beardtastic Yogi says, luckily, the remaster of Spider-Man is super good. Yes, I'm very excited. I'm having a great time so far. I realized when I was playing yesterday, by the end of the stream, my face like almost hurt from smiling so much, and I had only played through like the first part of the game. Nick Kellis brings up Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer Red Alert 2 was a great game until I tried to play it online and got my butt handed to me for 2 straight hours. Then I uninstalled. Oh no! I do love Command and Conquer though, so I'm right there with you on that. Shady X says, I've gamed on console and PC since childhood. I got to play on friends' consoles, but like because of that, I never played enough to get good, if that makes sense. Like I played some GoldenEye at friends' houses, but maybe total I invested like, I don't know, total time played 8 to 10 hours, which compared to my friends who put in hundreds and hundreds of hours, I just couldn't compete. Rob K says God of War. Let's see. Old school PC, Doom, Wolfenstein 3D, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Okay. Cyber Sikora says, mostly a PC gamer, but I do love my portable Nintendo consoles. I know, right? And I rarely ever had handhelds as well. Hi to you, Mark Wilkins. Thank you for stopping in. Crazy Taxi 3 for Xbox brings up Rob K. That's awesome. Bill Bleicher says, I am an old man. I played Pong on Atari when it was new. Awesome. That's very cool bragging rights, though, Bill. So hold on to that with pride. James Wisdom says, I had everything through the early 2000s, but went full console a few years ago. But for the last year or two, I've played maybe 4 or 5 different games on them, so not upgrading. If only I had time. Yeah, well, James, you have lots of stuff going on right now with university and stuff, so I totally understand. Shady X says, my dad still plays Command and Conquer games. We've even had some MP matches against each other. He kicked my butt. That's cool. I wish my parents played video games and could totally kick my butt. Eric Tate says, Watch Dogs Legion is good. Yeah, I played a bit of that on Twitch stream as well, and that was pretty good. Mighty X29 says, Tetris on every console. Yes, I'm so excited to play Tetris Effect on New Generation. I bet it's going to be amazing. Let's see. Took It Home to Jenny brings up the Finding Nemo game. I never played the Finding Nemo game, but I would like to at some point. Curtis Jeremiah says, also FIFA. Say what you want about it, but back in 2012, FIFA 12 was at the peak in those times. You know what? It's not for me, but I am not going to knock it for everybody else. Like, so many of the EA sports titles do so very well and have such an avid fan base that they're obviously games that have stood the test of time. So I'm not going to knock them at all, even if they're not for me. And the funny thing is, I used to play sports games back in the NES days, but I think the more lifelike they got and the more like actual sports they became and kind of less like video game mechanics, which is great for this various series as a whole, but for me as someone who doesn't appreciate the sport as much as other people, it made me appreciate those games less, if that makes sense. Jimmy Sprinkles says, my first console was PS1. What do you remember playing on it, Jimmy Sprinkles? So yeah, this is just kind of a fun trip down memory lane now that we are on the dawn of a new console generation, and we'll see what happens. Michael King says, I want NBA Jam back. Hi, Joker Joe. Good to see you. So yeah, that's a kind of fun trip down memory lane, and I think also a nice distraction for people who are feeling very stressed with 2020 being 2020, if you will. I actually got a chance to shower today, as you can see from my wet hair, which is very exciting for me. Jim Jackson, thank you for the super chat and the virtual hug. Virtual hugs right back at you, Jim Jackson. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Dinner in a Game says, Atari, I am old. Rob K, thank you for the super chat, says Half-Life 2 or Unreal Championship, anyone? Anyone? And just in case anyone here is not already a member of the Discord, the Discord, which I believe is linked below. Maybe not. Yes, it is. Okay, it's linked in the description. The Naked Truth channel of the Discord, people have been discussing their favorite games and stuff for days. So if you're looking for someone that might have the same affinity for a past gen title as you, that is the place to go to try to find them. Also, just huge shout out to the mods for killing it and being here today, even though this was an impromptu time and an impromptu stream. You guys always make this such a lovely place to be and a nice place to hang out for everyone. So please know how much I appreciate you always. Other things that we said we were going to talk about today, ways to celebrate the holidays from home. Because especially here in the States, at least, Thanksgiving is coming up. And Thanksgiving is traditionally celebrated by large family gatherings and lots of food in the form of a big turkey dinner. Well, most people are not getting together for the holidays this year because of COVID. Like for me, my whole family lives far away and no one's able to travel, so it's not even a question. But even people who live close, might not want to mix households, etc. So in terms of being cautious, how do you cook a huge Thanksgiving dinner for like 3 people? That's really the question that I think a lot of people are butting up to now, because normally the way Thanksgiving dinner is made is in bulk for like 40 people. Now, luckily, I have made a small Thanksgiving dinner before. I celebrated Thanksgiving back in the day as a double date with Meg Turney and Gavin Free. And so it was me and Nate, Meg and Gavin, and one other friend that we had invited. So I had made a Thanksgiving dinner for 5 people that year. So I have a little bit of practice doing that. But, I think a lot of people struggled with it on Halloween as well. Like, how do you still make it feel festive and like a celebration without saying like Halloween's canceled or Thanksgiving's canceled or Christmas is canceled? How do you still make it fun? Danny Hooley, R.I.P. Alex Trebek. I agree with you. Yeah, what a legend, right? Mark F. says, I know a few people doing prime rib, no turkey. Garth McMurray says, I will microwave a hungry man turkey dinner. There's a lot of restaurants that are doing like, you can order it and they'll deliver turkey dinner for only a set amount of people to your house, which I know some people are probably going to do that. What I've been trying to do for the holidays, and this is what I did for Halloween. I tried to find new ways to celebrate, so it's kind of the same type of celebration, but in a safe way. So for example, on Halloween, we put little like pumpkins and bats and stuff on the doors inside the house and let Logan carry his trick-or-treating bucket and come up and knock on the door, like say to my office, and either me or Nate would open the door. And so he'd knock and say trick or treat, and one of the adults would open the door and then give him some candy in his bucket. And then he'd move on to the next door. And the adults just kept running out, grabbing more candy and hiding behind a different door. So he still had the trick or treat experience. We just did it in our house and COVID safe. We also did a little like, almost like an Easter egg hunt, but for Halloween candy in these little Halloween buckets in the backyard. So he had to go and find all of the candy in the backyard in a fun hunt. And I had him help me make dirt dessert, which we made look like a graveyard. So he got to mash up the Oreo cookies, which was really fun. He got like his little toy hammer and I put it in a bag and he just went to town. And I made dirt dessert. And then we did gummy worms and gummy pumpkins. And I wanted to do little cookies to shape like gravestones to put in there, but I couldn't find them. But I did sanitize and wash off some Walking Dead miniatures. And we put those in there to be like zombies in our graveyard. So we still got a chance to celebrate Halloween, even though it looked a little different. So now I'm in the process of trying to think about how to do that for Thanksgiving. So I still am going to make a lot of the traditional Thanksgiving food. I'm just going to make it on a smaller scale, like I did that Thanksgiving when it was just me and Nate and Megan and Gav and one other person. And yeah, and that way we still kind of have that traditional food. But I'm trying to think of other final ways because I don't know. Normally, you watch the Macy's Day Parade, which probably isn't happening this year. Or spending, Mighty X29 brought up spending time with loved ones virtually. Definitely going to do that on Thanksgiving at some point. Jenny says, you have the PJ party tradition in your family, right, Trish? Maybe making it like a cheesy sleepover party, marshmallows and pillow fights with Logan and Nate. That's a great idea. Yeah, Christmas Eve, we do Christmas PJs. And actually, we do it with my whole extended family, which is huge, and all over the country. So we're obviously not getting together to do that this year. But we've already talked about doing like a Zoom where we're all in our Christmas PJs and doing a gift exchange that we plan way ahead of time so we can mail gifts to each other and opening our gifts in PJs over like a massive virtual call, which could be cool. Let's see. Michael King says Macy's is happening. I have to pay attention due to cooking side dishes, so that tradition isn't going away. Okay, cool. So we could still put that on the TV and that could work. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. I'm going to see if I can I'm not very good at crafts and that kind of stuff, but I'm trying to get that way for Logan to give him new stuff to work on since he's not in school. So maybe I'll find like making turkeys by tracing your hand. If anyone ever did that, maybe I'll pick up some feathers so he can put little turkey feathers on it too. Or like pumpkin decorating crafts. We did that for Halloween too. We painted pumpkins. But yeah, I'll see if I can find something Halloweenish and then, Thanksgiving-ish. And then after Thanksgiving, then we can start getting ready for Christmas. And of course, decorating the tree and putting out our lights and all that kind of stuff as well. Feels very festive and it'll be really fun and is safe, luckily. Joker Joe says, arts and crafts with Logan for Thanksgiving might be a fun idea. Yes, thank you for the super chat. I agree. Daniel Taylor says, you're awesome, Trish. Love what you do. Thank you so much. Wish I could stick around to watch the stream live for the first time, but roaming data says no. I'm sorry, Daniel Taylor. If you have any point in the future and want to catch a stream live, you can either do it right here on YouTube or over on Twitch. I'm live there like 4 or 5 times a week, so maybe you have a better chance of catching, but thank you for saying hello, and I appreciate you being here for the first time. That's so exciting. Let's see. Jimmy Sprinkles says Zoom cooking. That sounds fun. That could be fun. Catnip Ninja says, what about New Year's? Ooh, great question. What are some good ways to celebrate New Year's and by yourself? Well, I mean, anyone who has little kids probably does that anyway. At least Nate and I have for the last few years. We don't really go anywhere. There have been some years that we had friends come over, which we won't do this year. But people do the pots and pans at midnight out on your backyard. So at least you can like feel like you're celebrating with your neighbors because you can hear everybody celebrating without actually going outside. But especially the years when Logan was really little, I didn't last till midnight. Are you kidding? I had some wine and promptly fell asleep at like 9:30 or 10 o'clock because that's what you do when you're so sleep deprived on New Year's. You're like, whatever, it's still going to be the new year when I wake up. Good. Zoom call party is a great idea. I know that a bunch of the Critical Role people and a bunch of the Geek and Sundry or former Geek and Sundry folks do like a electronic like virtual club night. They do their booty mashup nights where someone DJs and it's all over virtual call and they essentially have a dance club till like the wee hours of the morning and they do it fairly regularly. So that could be something if you want that type of experience on New Year's that might still feel like New Year's. We'll probably still go out and buy like New Year's hats and party poppers and stuff like that for Logan. That's what we've done before for him so that he could celebrate. And what we usually do here on the West Coast is either watch the East Coast ball drop or actually no, I think we watched UK. I think we watched a recording of UK's last year because then it was during a time when all the kids were still awake. So without having to like keep my two-year-old then, but without having to keep my toddler up until midnight, they still get the excitement of ringing in the new year, or I guess in UK it's not the ball dropping, but it was like this cool fireworks celebration. So we did that before, and that was kind of a cool idea. Robert Edwards says, my Taekwondo group has been having cooking classes via Zoom. One of our masters has been teaching Korean cooking. She's posted them to YouTube as well. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Or another idea that's like that, if you're looking for ways to celebrate with people that are out of the ordinary, is, this is not sponsored, by the way. Airbnb now has something called Airbnb Experiences that are like online experiences. So one of the gifts that I gave Nate for our 5-year wedding anniversary was an Airbnb experience with a really cool award-winning mixologist and bartender based out of New Zealand. So we actually chatted with him for an hour while he was at his bar that he owns in New Zealand. So he got to show us his bar and talk us through making some drinks that we then made in our bar. But it's almost like I got to take Nate to a bar in New Zealand for our 5-year wedding anniversary, since we couldn't go there for real. And there's a lot of different stuff like that. It's like, take salsa with a dancer in Cuba, or, just kind of fun ways to get out of your comfort zone while still remaining safe, which is awesome. Jimmy Sprinkles says, when Logan gets older, what would you like to cook with him? So one of the things I've been having Logan do with me is a little bit of baking. In fact, later today, I think we are going to plant some seeds for basil, so we can have a little basil plant growing in our kitchen, which he and I have never planted seeds before, so I think he might really enjoy that. And then just the learning of like watering it every day and watching it grow could be really fun. And we're probably going to cook pumpkin muffins. It's like the one thing in the I'm a bad chef Naked Truth that I talked about that I know how to make because it's easy. So Logan and I think, are going to make that later today. And it's because it's so easy. He just has to like put in the pumpkin puree and the spice cake mix. And then we have to stir it all up and put it in the oven for the right amount of time. So he's going to do that with me later today. And sometimes I try to get him to help me make dinner, because then I feel like he's just a little bit more likely to eat it when he's helped make it. It doesn't always work out like that, but he's not generally a dinner guy. He's a big breakfast guy, but not a big dinner guy. But yeah, so I have him help me make dinner and bake sometimes. Let's see. I bet Nate would love to do a salsa class as Riddy and Morgan. Probably not. Nate, he always says his big downfall as a musical theater performer was that he can't dance to save his life. And he would say that. I'm not making fun of him. Let's see. Garth McMurray says, last New Year's, me and my friends did a live stream on YouTube over 6 hours with all the different time zones ringing in the new year over and over again. That's awesome. That's a great idea, Garth McMurray. I love that. Let's see. There's usually a lot of fireworks on Diwali. I wonder how it'll work out this year because it's the Festival of Lights. That totally makes sense. Nate Chatterton says, I'm a big food guy in general. I get that. Hi, Tyler. How are you? Welcome, everybody. It's good to see so many familiar names in chat. I miss everybody here. I know I know I'm not as active on YouTube as I used to be years and years ago. But I've been spending a lot of my time on Twitch, so it's kind of nice to see some of the people that I don't often get to see on Twitch here as well. Hi, how are you? I'm trying to post a little bit more regularly to YouTube, a little bit more tech and a little bit more gaming stuff. Pretty much everything. That's what I've noticed. Even the tech that I post now is still gaming adjacent tech for the most part. Like I'm like, hey, I got the Note 20 and it plays Xbox Game Pass games. But I do have a Pixel 5. I do have a Note 20. I can make videos on all of those. My priority right now is to get out a review type video on the PS5, since I was fortunate enough to be sent one. And then also, I just got a new graphics card that I'm very excited about that I need to put in my Alienware. And part of me is like, oh, should I film installing the card? That would be cool. But even if I did, that probably wouldn't be a video that lived on YouTube. That might be, I don't know, maybe I'll mess around with like Instagram Reels. There's so many different things to upload to now. It's very hard for me to try to figure out the best place for each type of content. It is not a 6800 Haswell 1150, but it is very exciting. Tyler Van Hertzel says, after a long, bleak few weeks, things are looking up. Put up my Christmas lights and have had extra live streams on all day, and I finally caught a Naked Truth. Yay, you're here. I see Nova says, why did this get recommended to me? I don't know, but welcome. Happy to have you here. Do you like gaming stuff? We were talking about video games earlier in the episode, so maybe that's why. Nate says, I'm waiting to get the Xbox first so the bugs get worked out. I want both Xbox and PS5. Well, I can tell you right now, the Xbox Series X has been pretty clutch for me. I've seen some people online say that the optical drive was giving them problems. I did not experience that, but most of the games that I have played on it have been digital. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of physical games to put in just because I don't have them anymore. I'm so Game Pass reliant. How horrible is that? I feel like I need to hand in my nerd card for saying that. But physical media is just not something that I keep up with super, super well. I will, however, try out. I do have some titles I will try out for review purposes. But yeah. Joshua says this was in my recommended, so hey, I guess. Oh, hey, Joshua, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. For those of you who are just tuning into this, because I guess this is getting recommended right now, this is a series I have been doing for, 6 years now? 7 years now? That's not edited, and no makeup, no hairdo, fresh out of the shower, and in an effort to just kind of be very real with people. It's more of a hangout, but it's an effort to be very real with people since so much of social media right now is photoshopped and super edited, and there is certainly a place for that type of content, but that's not what this is. So this is not, my channel is usually tech and gaming. This is just kind of a, like I said, kind of a hangout that I do every other week. So it's a little bit of a weird thing. But yeah, it's no fancy branding or anything, just people hanging out as they are, which is cool. Meridian says, huzzah, woot woot, and whatever words of celebration people use these days. To Joker Joe. Joker Joe, what are you celebrating? Let's see. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum, moving through. James Wisdom says, bloody hell, have we been doing this for 6 years? We old. I know. It's been a long time. We did, because, I mean, Logan is almost 4. And I was doing this well before I got pregnant with Logan. So it has been a long, long time. Michael King says 6 or so. Trisha, I know I started after the Between the Sheets episode you were on. Yes. Oh, Makuga, how have you been? But yeah, I enjoy the live streams better, honestly. Michael King, do you mean these live streams or Twitch live streams? Let me know. Let me know. Thank you again, mods, for being awesome. This is so funny. We don't normally have a mod issue, but I guess we do a little bit today. So thank you guys for being awesome. GK Gamer fan, yes. Facepalm about the people blowing vape smoke into their new Xboxes. Or the videos where people are like, look, my Xbox is smoking out the top. And it's like not even the type of smoke that would be electronic smoke. I retweeted what Alana said about it because I totally agreed. Then it's like not like I would ever normally give those kind of things the time of day because they are 100% fake, and I don't want people to look at them and think that they're real because that does definitely do damage to the brand. But those weren't even faked well. Took it home to Jenny says you started before you were dating Nate. No, I started, okay, so here's actually a good way to think about it. I did start it while I was dating Nate, and Nate and I have been dating 7 years as of last July. So this series might be 7 years old. Yeah, welcome to the new people who are here today. This is so funny. Why are we getting so many new people today? But welcome. I'm happy to have you here. My name's Trisha Hershberger. I normally cover tech and video game stuff on television sometimes, but mostly the internet. And you'll find things on this channel like the Xbox Series X review that I just did, sometimes gameplay streams, and then every now and then you'll find what you've stumbled onto now, the naked truth. This is a vlog that is all about just hanging out the way you are. It's fresh out of the shower, so nothing is retouched or made to look a certain way, and it's really just me as I am talking about stuff with friends. And that's what this is. It's a hangout, so welcome. It was kind of my knee-jerk reaction originally to being asked to speak about video games and tech on camera and being told, well, we need you to wear these fake glasses, and can you get a nose piercing, and can you dye your hair a funky color, because we need people to believe that you like games. And I was like, oh, so the fact that I've been playing video games since I was 5 doesn't convey that? Or the fact that I know and have been modding and building PCs for years doesn't convey that I know what I'm talking about? I have to look a certain way. That drove me crazy. So I just was like, you know what? Let's take all of that off and just be. And just be. And who you are with your opinions, that is enough. So that's the whole reason for Naked Truth. For anyone who's just coming in here and kind of wondering what is this weird thing, that's what this weird thing is. And this weird thing, as we've just talked about, has maybe been going on for 7 years. 6 to 7 years. Absolutely bonkers. And a lot of people who are in chat have been here for most of that time, which is absolutely crazy. New people hype? Yeah. Michael King says, does a gamer have a true look? This was 7 or 8 years ago. I think the industry has changed a bit since then. But yes, that was definitely what it was. Filter free and happy, says Took It Home to Jenny. Yes, exactly. So these are the streams where people are like, what's up with her hair? And you have these dark circles under your eyes. Yes, I'm a mom. Or like, I've done these before when I had like a real big like red pimple on the end of my nose and stuff. But you know what? That's real life. Not everything is photoshopped and filtered like on Instagram. So I think sometimes it's nice to have a reminder of just, you know, what reality looks like and what real conversations without all the intakes of breaths being edited out and jump cuts looks like. And it's not for everybody. Some people really prefer that like jump cut, highly edited stuff. So, Bob the Welder says, 7 years. How come nobody told me about Naked Truth? Shame on you guys. It's something that's taken hiatuses for a bit over the years and changed forms for sure. It started out back in the time of video responses. Remember when YouTube had video responses? And it started out where I would do a Naked Truth type video like this. Thank you for the new sub. And lots of people would make video responses to it in their own Naked Truth fashion, whatever that looks like for you. And it was cool. It was just this very honest and real kind of crew of folks, self-named the Naked Army way back in the day, that did this thing and were just super open and honest with each other. And it was just a very, very cool experiment that has somehow continued on. D20 Dave says, still like jump cuts, but that's why, but that's because it brings me back to 2007, 2008 was a fun time on YouTube. Oh, Jenny, you're so wonderful and I appreciate you. Michael King says, isn't YouTube just a series of video responses? I guess when you think about it, sure. I mean, that's tag videos, which is common in beauty videos. That's true. You are very correct. Oh, here, Took It Home to Jenny says, first Naked Truth was March 19th, 2014. Okay, so yeah, so in March, it was 6 years. That is bonkers. So when we get to next March, it'll be 7. That was the guess, 6 and some change. Warrior Pro Gaming says, should I buy the PS5 or the Xbox? Well, that depends on what types of games you like to play. I think that if you are into the PS5 exclusives, that makes the decision for you, unless you already have a PS4, and then you can play a lot of those games on the PS4. So if you don't want to upgrade, you don't have to, which is great. If you're a big PC gamer, like I am, it's kind of nice to have the synergy between the Xbox and the PC, although the other side of that coin is, if I can play all those games on my PC, why would I then need an Xbox? I think it's a very personal decision. But yeah, I mean, I mostly play games on PC, so for me, I don't really have a diehard stake in the console wars, and I would like to see us move into an era where console wars aren't a thing anymore, because whether you play games on Xbox or PlayStation or PC or Nintendo Switch or your mobile device or whatever, it's a good time to be a gamer. There's a lot of really excellent software and hardware out there, and we should all just be excited and happy for each other. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, I guess we're still just getting so many new people in here. Crazy pants. Miguel says, okay, so my girlfriend is asking me what the heck I'm watching here. Hi, Miguel's girlfriend. Welcome to the stream. Yes, the name of the stream is called Naked Truth. No, it's not a sexy thing. There, that is it. I am very married and mommed and just basically hanging out with friends in a format that doesn't have any pretense whatsoever. Just the way you are. That's it. Nate Chatterton says, I miss Halo. I played Halo 2 for the first Xbox. I want to get back to Halo is why I want to get back to Xbox. I get that. And Game Pass, Wario Pro Gaming, you got it. Game Pass allows you to play so much. I mean, Halo the Master Chief Collection is on there. And like the back catalog on Game Pass for Mass Effect is all on there as well. And so if you want to go back and play those, you have those. And now if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can play them on PC again as well. So you don't necessarily need that. There are some games that are exclusive to Xbox on Game Pass and some games that are exclusive to PC on Game Pass Ultimate, I believe. But Game Pass Ultimate, any games that were available for both PC and console are available for both PC and console, which is very, very cool. GK Gamer Fan says, hashtag married, hashtag mommed. Yes, totally. And the cool thing about this series is you guys have seen me through all of that. Like, early Naked Truths, you know, me talking about dating and the horrors of dating and what that's going to look like someday when I do decide to pick a person to settle down, all the way to announcing when I got engaged and introducing you to Nate, and then talking about getting married, and then talking about being pregnant, and then talking about having my little dude. Like, we've all been through so much together. Those of you who've watched the series for so long, it's really quite nuts to me. People who have watched years and years of The Naked Truth know me better than a lot of friends that I know in real life, and that's just honest. Michael King says, NES, SNES, Game Boy, N64, Game Boy Color, PS1, Game Boy Advance, PS2, GameCube, Wii, Xbox One. Dude, is that your history? That is awesome. That is so much more than I ever got. Crazy. Cyclops says, I do miss Naked Truth responders, Julia Fang and Sid Cam. Yeah. Yep. And some people still make responses and post them in the Discord. And thank you to those of you that do. Those are always nice to see. Michael King, yes, I played the crap out of the Roller Coaster Tycoon games. They were always very fun. I have not played any of the recent ones, though. Ridian Morgan says, Married and Mommed is totally a Flavor of Love type MTV reality show, surely. I don't know if it is. That's very funny, though. Mighty X29 says, LMAO, we watched you grow up. Wipes away tear. They grow up so fast. It's true. And I've watched a lot of you grow up as well through this. So funny. Aberthane says, I still love when Trisha mentioned the one horrible date she was on where the guy said you didn't Google me when she didn't respond to his attempts to feed his ego. Oh, that was definitely one of the worst dates ever. That you didn't Google me. You didn't Google me? No. Ugh, that was awful. I will remember that to my day. Jeremy Coleman says, what is today's topic? Today is a cheese board of topics. We started out talking about favorite games of past console generations, since we're on the dawn of new consoles. And then we talked about some ways to celebrate various holidays at home, since a lot of us are staying home and can't get together with family. How do you do that? What does that look like? And then we just kind of delved into a history of The Naked Truth, because a lot of new people got referred this vlog and are like, what am I watching? Which totally makes sense. I get it. It's a weird thing that lives on the internet. But the internet's for weird things, so that makes sense. Adam G says, as if we grew up. Ha ha ha. I totally agree. I totally agree with you there. Let's see. Ridian says, as much as I hate the pressure it puts on my future, huge props to Nate for his superb engagement scavenger hunt idea. Nate is a planner, so if anybody was going to pull something off like that, it would be Nate. Jimmy Sprinkles says, I met Trisha last year. Been a fan since. Oh, that's so awesome. It was lovely meeting you. It is nice when I meet people in person and then they kind of show up later. Jenny, you are so sweet, welcoming in all the new people while simultaneously you and GK Gamer Fan keeping this a lovely place to hang out, and I appreciate that. But it does seem like things are getting a little bit out of control, so maybe that's a good cue to end this. This stream. But Critter Nation, if you're watching, I haven't seen you here, but if you're watching, I do want to thank you again for sending this to the P.O. Box. I'm very excited to have something to read, even though I don't have a lot of time to read. This is George R. R. Martin's Fire and Blood. It takes place 300 years before A Game of Thrones. So this is a prequel book that I have not read yet, and I'm very excited to check it out. So that was a very thoughtful gift. Thank you so very much. And yeah, I will have a video coming out on this YouTube channel soon that is my PS5 review. And I have a couple other gameplay videos that I'm kind of got in the wings waiting to go, and everything keeps getting pushed back. I had a video specifically on Orlog, the game within Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but it's gotten pushed because of other videos that had to take precedence over that, like the Xbox Series X review, that now I'm like, can I really post a video now that's like, early look at Orlog after the game is out? Not really. So I guess that video is just gonna die in despair and never be posted. So I need to figure that out. Basically what I learned from talking to a lot of my other creator friends that are killing it, just straight killing it right now on all different platforms, is they all have a team. They all have help. They have business managers or social media managers or editors. And so for me, just as a one-woman show, trying to do it all myself, it's basically impossible for me to keep up with every platform. But I do the best that I can. And when it gets to the point where I can hire someone, California has this law where you can't hire gig workers, so I can't like pay a friend, hey, can you just edit this video, I'll pay you this much. I can't really do that. I have to fully onboard employees, which I'm not set up to do, which is why I do it all myself. But when I figure out a way to help with that, then maybe I can start posting a little bit more consistently. But yeah, I have the PS5 review that will be coming out hopefully this week, maybe next. I really want to make sure that I have enough time with it and have tested it out before I give like full opinions on it. So it'll either be this week or next week. And then, yeah, some gameplay videos that are coming out and all the Twitch streams that you and I can both handle because Twitch is my happy place. So if you don't already follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Trisha Hershberger, and I'm there 4 to 5 days a week with lots of different types of content, from a game show I do showcasing upcoming builds or early builds of upcoming indie games, to just gameplay videos. Right now I'm playing through Spider-Man on PS5, and it is awesome, and I will be doing that tomorrow morning for sure. But yeah, as always, if there's anything else you want to see on this channel, please let me know. I still want to make a vlog of my secret bar in my house to show that to you. I keep holding off because it's not quite done yet, but I think I should just do it already. And Nate and I are planning a little cabin family getaway soon at maybe an Airbnb. So again, completely safe. But I'm thinking about maybe renting an IRL streaming backpack so that if we go on hikes and stuff like that, I can bring to, it'll be live streamed on Twitch if I'm able to do it, but bring the Twitch community with me on hikes and have everybody get out of the house a little bit. That might be really fun. And at least doing that, I won't need to worry about editing and a lot of the other stuff that I just don't have a team for right now. Took It Home to Jenny says, so exciting. So excited for the bar reveal. Yes, it's going to happen. There are definitely empty walls that I need stuff for, and I'll probably walk you all through that when I can. But that's what's going to happen. Netherlands Clip says, love your energy in the live stream. That's awesome. Thank you. In general, I'm a pretty positive person, I think, and a pretty high energy person, and that's not for everybody, but for the people it is for, welcome, and I'm happy to have you here. So this has been today's Naked Truth. Thank you all so much for being here. And for those of you who like to watch on Twitch, I will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time for the Sunday morning chill stream. And for those of you who want to hang out in Discord, the Discord invite is linked in the description below, and we would be happy to have you. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a safe and lovely rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye, everybody.